we all are trying to navigate this experience of Western world, and some of us have, and it's so funny because the closer you are, like the further you are from America, the closer you are to Africa as far as cultural ways, right? So the foods that you eat, the Santeria that you practice, the hoodoo that you practice, the Congos, all of that, so you get to Brazil and you're damn near in Africa. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in customs and mores when you get to Africa. So it's like, I don't know, like it's very complex. I think it's simple, but it's very complex because you have people's emotions, pride, identity, all these things tied into nationalism and all this type shit. So, I'm thinking about maybe tackling something like that. I don't know. Or I might just go back to go-go dancing.
Go-go dancing is tight, but
get your money, man. Get them dollars.
You are now listening to the Abyss Podcast with Carl the White Monk, Primo Jab, and Luke Cage.
Episode issue 113. We made it to 100 and god dang 13 episodes.
113.
Yeah. That's crazy as fuck. Carl, how you doing with your 100 miles hoodie on?
Man, I'm living the dream. Doing great.
That's what's up, yo. You got the Potato God. You got the Pro Diligent Potato God, Seppington. Hoodie on, Primo Jab. I see that, man.
Dios has some more.
Dios has some more, man.
That's what's up, man. That shit fire. Is that Champion?
No.
All right. Dang.
But it's fresh.
Yeah, my Steves. Shout out to Czarface, know what I'm saying? Boom. They got a major deal. Shout out to Esoteric. That's my guy. Know what I'm saying? Word. Big East. We miss you. All that good shit. But anyway, I say Czarface because I know you was just on tour with Esoteric, Vinny Paz. You know what I'm saying? Or you was on tour with them, right?
Yeah. A few months ago. Absolutely. I did a quick little run with them.
That's what's up, man. But we got Rasheed Chappell in the building.
That's right. Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. What up, my guy? What's
the good word?
I don't know, man. Just over here doing my thing, yo. And I'm plotting on stealing your toys back there already, man.
I know. I see you.
Yeah, man.
I see the backdrops over there. I can imagine.
I mean, that's my thing. You know what I mean? Well, that's my thing. What you got back there?
This is not me. This is my lady. This is her thing. She used to actually made some of these toys back there. She works for Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Wow, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I got to ask real quick. I don't want to derail the whole podcast, but was that a C3PO R2 hybrid down on the bottom?
Where?
Looks like he's got a blue and white leg.
Yes.
That's the dopest shit I've ever seen.
Yes. She's dope.
That is insane.
Yeah, she's dope.
My wife does a little artwork as well. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. He do some wild shit, some taxidermy shit, some shit to make you be like, when you wake
some
up.
Creepy shit. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, that shit look dope, but I would never put that in my house because I'd be scared. I mean, word. I start burning sage and shit, my guy. What up? So boom. Let's get into it, yo. Sugar Bills.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let's kick it right off.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Insane.
Like, who did the artwork for that and make it move like that? Like, I seen on your page, like the artwork, that shit is...
Yeah, the visuals are really cool.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
You. I don't have an answer for that, actually. We outsource it to different graphic people, and they animate it for us. So I don't have a specific name for who actually did the moving artwork for you.
Okay.
So it's like Survivor shit, basically, essentially, hiring it out.
Yeah. I mean, we handle as much as we can, but there's some things that we got to outsource, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
That's what we got a team for, man. It's a team for, man. Boom. But Sugar Bills definitely is a good album. Definitely. The singing I like on there is Jasmine Lopez, I believe, is the singer on that. Oh, no, Never Change. Yeah. It's some pretty good. Yeah, it's some pretty dope cuts on there, man. That makes me, I don't know. You got a lot of tough guy music out there right now, and a lot of not a good subject matter right now. Yeah, so I appreciate
funny. I was
this
just having this conversation. I was just having that conversation with Ella J earlier today. So that's crazy. Yeah.
But do you think it's coming back a little bit? I mean, the tough guy era is still here.
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, to be honest, like I really, I really don't pay much attention to what anybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like in my own bubble. Like, so I don't know. I don't listen to too much. Like, I don't know. There's a such thing as bad music because I only really listen to the music I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know what else is going on out there. I see kind of people moving and stuff like on the gram, but as far as content, I think it's always been there. I think you just got to dig maybe a little bit deeper to find an artist that are bringing it out. It's not kind of being pushed to the forefront, but I think that's always been the case, So is it coming back? I've been around since 2011, dropping the same type of music. So I've been here, you know what I mean? There's other artists that have been here as well. So I don't know. I don't think we have a left. Maybe we're getting more of shine now, but it's always been here.
True indeed. I'm glad you said that, man. Lukey, I don't like the fact that you just generalized tough guy music out here like that.
Tough guy. Oh, Squeegee O said it.
No.
Squeegee O said it. Squeegee O said it, right?
Right. Shout out Squeegee O. I feel you on that. But at the same time, it's not tough guy music that's out here as a problem. And I think you, Rasheed, I think you exemplify exactly what I'm going to talk about. People are complex. There's different aspects to people, right? And people are creating music and soundtracks that portray sometimes with the authenticity that they are immersed in, right? Or the experiences that they hear secondhand and they're sharing with the world, whatever the case is, however you want to do it. But to say that it's some sort of detriment or something like that, I think is you're almost slandering a whole aspect of our world. Man.
Rasheed, Carl, check it out. I said that in for example, Steiner Brothers, love that album. You know what I'm saying? Pro Dillinger Snotty. That's some tough shit. It's the beats are hard hitting, the lyrics are hard hitting, but there's a lot of people that come into the game who just make tough guy music because that's what they think they need to do. You know what I'm saying? That's not really them. They're not even fighting or selling drugs or they don't even have pistols. I know dudes that don't even got pistols to talk about. Dude was talking about he drove a blue Escalade. He was on the MARTA with me. You know what I'm saying? Word. So boom.
Well, that's aspirational. Maybe he's being creative and aspirational,
He's I don't know. I'm not into existence.
I'm playing devil's advocate right now. But to take it, exactly, Carl, talking it back to, existence. But to take it full circle, what I mean to say is like, Rasheed, you are an example of an artist that's currently an ill spitter, talking that talk, but is not afraid to explore more creative approaches and definitely broader horizons of subject matter. And I think that's what makes Sugar Bill stand out more is because it's not the same formula that's kind of dominating right now, as Lukey was calling the quote unquote the tough guy sound. You know what I mean? That's my interpretation of it.
Indeed.
Well, I would like to. Okay, so I think there's a lot of things happening in the culture now, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of different things happening in the culture as well as the world, like as a whole. And so, I was always told, if you are it, you don't have to talk about it. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you are who you say you are, you don't have to explain it to anybody. And so, that's a jewel that I got from my dad. And the music, I think in my music, you can hear that, I was very close to the subject matter that which I talk about, but just my perspective was a bit skewed, right? So, and the reason I say that is I don't really glorify the drug dealer because my parents were addicted to crack. So my experience to it is different, right? So my exposure to it is from a different side. So it wasn't something that actually brought my family up or allowed me to do things for my family. It actually was a hindrance, a detriment to my family.
Right.
And then it forced me to grow up faster and do things, to get out of, escape, take care of my little sister. I had a kid very early, raised that child while being in high school and trying to so it was a lot of different things that transpired at the time. So to me, that side of the story is not something that I'm really familiar with. I never sold a drug. I wasn't a stick up kid. But if you go to, like, the name of my album is Sugar Bills, that place existed. That was a real place. I'm telling stories of people that were really there. Anytime I post anything, the people from my neighborhood that speak on it, they applaud it because they know what I'm saying is actual factual. Right. So I take it very, I take it very seriously, what I do, and my addition to just a culture of Black music. Right. There's a lot of Black death, being glorified, and a lot of Black death that's being, profitable right now. So I feel like I have a responsibility, because I have a voice and people listen, to give you a 24-hour day of Rasheed. I might fuck in the morning. I might run at night. I might, I might do some street shit in the middle, but there's a 24-hour day. I'm also a father. I'm also a son. I'm also an ex-husband. All these things exist. And it's like, I'll give you the full breadth of who we are, because none of it is a monolith. You know what I mean? Indeed. So that's just my perspective on music. I don't listen to rap. If my lady was here, she'll tell you the past couple of days, we've just been listening to fucking Max Roach, and we've been listening to,
nice.
That's where we've been. That's where we've been musically. That's just where I am. You know what I mean? So when I approach the music, it's like if you allow my rapper ego to talk, I could rap with anybody. I could out rap anybody. But let's do something else. Let me see if I can do something else. That's the challenge. Right?
You did it.
Well,
you did it.
And the skill in which you do it allows somebody like me who doesn't know you to know that it's authentic and genuine. And not just because you do it so well, but also the approach that you have to it and your viewpoint of it isn't the standard street kind of viewpoint that a lot of rappers can fall into, even if they've never lived that life.
True indeed.
So it clearly shows just in the way that you write your lyrics and in the storytelling aspect of it, that you can tell it's a different viewpoint, and the authenticity just rings out.
Thank you.
Growing up in the projects, sorry about that, man. When did you know? Because I know you called yourself a unicorn. That you was different. You know what I'm saying? I knew I was different at a young age as well. You know what I'm saying? When did you know or realize that you had this different? I heard you like a lot of different genres of music, a lot of different film. When did you know? Yo, I'm just different, man.
I honestly always, I credit my mom all the time for exposing me to so much music, and this is the 80s where the vinyl had the lyrics on the inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So my mom, we would sit and I would read the lyrics with her to know the songs. I'm talking Earth, Wind and Fire, Stephanie Mills. I'm talking I'm looking at it right. Grover Washington Jr. I'm talking Stacey Lattisaw. I'm talking Randy Crawford, Hall and Oates, Pat Benatar.
Randy Crawford has an amazing voice.
Laura Branigan. So my mom she was diverse in her musical taste. My dad was heavy soul, heavy jazz. Nice. Right? So it would be Coltrane, it would be Bird, it would be Dizzy, it would be Cannonball, it would be the Prez, it would be all this stuff, an amalgamation of all the shit going on in the house, right? And I really just gravitated to the sound, and because they had me young, right? They were young trying to figure it out. There was sometimes it was very volatile in the house, and I can tell if they had just fucked, if they just fought, if they just got high by what song was playing.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is wild.
Right. Real talk, right? And so, growing up, you have to use your intuition and your instincts to kind of navigate, because, we growing up, this is the projects in the 80s, right? This is before they fucking, put the bars on a window. This is before you had to get buzzed in. This is a crazy time. So, I always knew I was different. It gets affirmed to me as I get older. I hear people talk about me. I have a song called CEO Suge. I shout him out on the first person on the album, Sugar Hill. He's the other person in the picture with me on the Sugar Bills cover. He was the best rapper out of all of us. Hands down, the best rapper out of all of us. And he said that he stopped rapping to assist me because I was serious. He was like, you were serious. Like you thought you could be the best. Like he was like, I could rap, but you actually thought that you could go all the way with this shit. And he was like, I would have did you a disservice by not stepping aside and coming on and helping you do your thing. So like, I've always known I was different, you know? And to Carl's point, when he spoke earlier, Lord Finesse is a mentor of mine. And I remember he told me years ago that rap music, you're either talking to a people or you're talking for a people. And if you do it right, you do both at the same time. So that's dope. Always something that I keep, because our demographics are different, me and Carl, right? But if I can bring you to a place where you can see my world, and then the people who I'm talking about understands that, yo, that's right and exactly what he's saying, and the two people meet and they're having that experience at the same time, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's an ill gem right there, yo. Yeah. Well, Carl, pretty much that we got.
So, I got more. Oh, go ahead, Carl.
Well, real quick, because we're on the subject of jazz.
Got plenty.
I don't want to hog the interview. I be doing that sometimes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, because we're on the subject of jazz, and I'm a huge jazz fan. Do you get to see, or have you seen jazz live often or ever?
Yeah, not often, but I have, absolutely.
Any concert or show that you got to see that really stood out, like as like a life-changing moment?
Oh, a life-changing moment. Well, I can give you 2 weeks ago. I just went to see Tony at Radio City Music Hall.
Oh, right?
Dope. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. So when you talk about Black music and you talk about the culture and you talk about the inclusion of all the elements of music, there was jazz, there was gospel, there was funk, like it was all of it. So I got to see it, you know, live and with a touch of hip hop in it. You know what I mean? We're just a splat, like 2 weeks ago, you know?
That's dope.
I think I'm going to see Robert Glasper in a few weeks, you know what I mean? So
shout out Robert Glasper. Yeah.
Like literally, today is what, Wednesday? I think 2 nights. Last night we just watched Glasper at the Kennedy Center. So like I'm always, you know, like it's the music for me. Like I was on a call prior to hopping on this. And there was a situation that, you know, there's a potential thing that may be happening. And I was like, yo, it's the music for me first. I know a lot of people make moves. Some people are hustlers that rap. Some people are businessmen that rap. It's the music first for me.
Right.
If the music doesn't move me, I feel like I'm betraying the gift that I have. So it has to be the music for me first.
Yes,
so those are the things that motivate me. Those are the things that keep me in love with it, right? Because I haven't done something for $1 that didn't sit well with me. I do it because I love it. You know, I love it. Like I would do it for free.
So I'm a drummer and a musician. I play several instruments, but just real quick, I got to, when I lived in Oakland, this is 91 through 93.
You saw Art Blakely?
No, I got to see Robert Ellis and Marcus Roberts.
Okay.
And they did dueling pianos. So
that's kind of ill.
Yeah, Marcus Roberts is a blind pianist.
Yeah,
and he was let out and he played. And his finger movements were so crazy fast, like he would skip in between fingers hitting keys.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And Kimball's East is a really small jazz club. So, I mean, we were pretty close. And I was still using binoculars so that I could watch his fingers. They were ridiculous. And then after he played, it was Ellis Marcellus, sorry. And he came out and played like 45 minutes. And then the two of them came out and did an hour and 10 minutes of just dueling pianos.
Oh, wow.
And it was the most ridiculous concert I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of concerts. I've played a lot of concerts. Nothing made my skin crawl like watching that.
That's what's up, man.
There's a lot
But
of
rap wasn't my first love though, Carl. Like I got into rap late. Like it wasn't rap for me. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I'll
Like
let you know, I just got
jazz.
back into rap. So I was a huge hip hop fan. I'm 50. I was a huge hip hop fan all throughout. And then the mid 2000 era hit, and I started playing drums in 2001 and really focused on a lot of different styles of music and stopped listening to hip hop. And then Lukey got me back into it with this whole Abyss underground movement. So
shout out to Big Ghost. What was your first love though? Was it jazz or what was it? Just like the R&B?
It was R&B. It was R&B.
Mm-hmm.
It was New Edition. It was New Edition.
Okay,
yeah,
because
Slum
they were
Village
like,
time.
Yeah. It was definitely.
Fuck hip hop. I listen to R&B. Yeah.
Yeah. It was New Edition. Then it was the boys. Like, okay, they're like young like me.
The boys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk. You know, so it was that. It was you know, hearing the voice of a young Michael Jackson, because you know, when you're young, you don't know. Like I didn't have a timeline to, you know, like to know like, oh, when did this come out? You know what I mean? Like it's just music that's being played.
Yeah.
So you hear these young voices. I'm like, oh, I could do that. Or I want to do that. You know, and then that's what it was. You know, rap, like of all of us, my crew where I'm from, like I was the last one to rap. The very last one to rap.
True indeed. I think that equates to me. I think more people can grasp a hold of love and relationships and songs and just good things more than like in hip hop sometimes. Like at one point in time, I thought, no, singing will always be the most popular genre, or just some type of singing will always be the most popular type of shit because it's singing. Like, word, I just figured that right there, yo. But yeah, definitely R&B, neo soul. Also, me, church music, gospel.
Facts.
Like gospel, like I don't know. I was raised in the church, so hearing Edwin Hawkins and BB and CC Winans and Mississippi Mass Choir, Jersey Caesar.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, Shirley Caesar was the can I say she's a shit? Is that sacrilegious blasphemous?
Of course you can.
I think there was one word in between, so you could do it. You could do it.
Exactly. Hope my dad will listen to this. Hope my dad will listen to this.
A very important
Yeah, definitely, yo. But yeah, gospel is like where a lot of this stuff comes from, I guess, for me. But definitely
I would say all of it though. The blues, all of it comes from gospel.
All of it. Rock and roll.
All of it comes from gospel.
All of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Before we go to the next topic, I know you like a lot of different genres of music as well, man. I know you were talking about REM and all type of shit, bro. Like, I like all that shit, man. I like anything that sounds good. And anything that sounds good.
I've never heard bad music because I only listen to what I like. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just
there you go.
I listen to what I like, so it's great. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be one type of genre. Like, if it sounds good, it sounds. The whole trip hop era was really that's the MySpace era as well. It was probably like from 2008 to 2014, Portishead times. Okay. Yeah. That was like, I was in love with that shit. But drum and bass, I didn't really like that much, yo. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I never got into Portishead. I never listened to Portishead. I wouldn't.
I mean, it's pretty good, man. I mean, I don't know.
Listen to the first two albums. Don't listen to the third one.
Okay.
Third one's the best one, and it's called Third.
Yeah,
it's cliche.
Anyway, hold on.
Off music. Go ahead.
No. I don't want to get off music because while we're talking about, we'll get there, Lukey. We'll get there. We gonna walk down the hill. Lukey. But anyway, look. I was watching something. I feel like this is kind of my first introduction when I was really like, yeah, we got to get him on the show. You made a statement, and it's great hearing your background with all these other musics and your passion for all these other musics. But you made a statement saying that hip hop is all you've known because it's existed for your whole life. And that really spoke to me when I heard that, because I think we've been talking about it a lot this year, hip hop turning 50 and everything. And there are those of us who have grown up where hip hop has always been a thing. It's always existed. And it's not just a music. It's a lifestyle. It's a culture. It's a way of being that we've seen grow up over time. So, like I said, I mean, how do you feel being so embedded in it now, right? You say you have Lord Finesse as a mentor, right? You've done songs with illustrious names, people that you've been fans of. Rest in peace to exactly.
Dave.
You understand what I'm saying? De La, you got joints, the beat miners. You know what I mean? Names, pillars of this culture. How do you feel that you're actively contributing something that is singular to this culture, that's going to be something where people are going to go back the next 20 years and they're like, oh, yeah, Rasheed Chappell, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's one of them ones. Representing Passaic, New Jersey. That's that dude. I know him. You're one of those names. Your name is on the wall for Passaic. You held it down. How does that feel?
I was in a documentary on Max Roach. They talked about he was near 70. And after he did the M-Boom movement and everything, the percussion ensemble.
Yep.
And he said he was at the house. His son was like, he was at the house and he was sitting next to his drum set. And he was like, I've almost got it mastered in his 70s.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's dope.
So
that's dope.
I feel like, honestly, like, I haven't done anything. Like, nice. I feel like I'm just like scratching the surface of who I am as an artist, what I want to contribute to the culture. I was talking to Walt, Mr. Walt from the Beatminers a couple days
absolutely.
ago. And we were just reminiscing how the song came about with De La Soul. And I was just so amped that, because he called me, like, he was like, yo, I need a favor from you. So I'm like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, like, he's like, I have this De La record. And I'm like, stop. What do you want me to do? Like, the hook? What do you like? What do you want me to do? Carry the De La record? What do you mean you got this De La record? Like, what do you want me to do? He's like, no, Pas's brother is a fan. And then wanted to know if I'm like, yeah, send it through. And he sent the record and, I knocked it out. I probably wrote it that day and knocked it out the next day. I remember the excitement when he called me. Yeah, but the excitement of someone that you grew up listening to telling you that, yo, this shit is dope. Or the fact like De La is like my older cousin's music. Like he put me on to De La. And then when I got into I got into De La and I'm like, yo, like they're fucking incredible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then to be able to do that prior to, Dave's passing and having that record. And then to add seasoning, I don't want to give too much. There's a lot going on with that record. When it comes out, people hear it. I'm very proud to be a part of it, but I feel like I haven't done anything. I feel like, I still feel like it's every time I anticipate what I'm going to write. I look forward to going to the studio. I look forward to like, I don't use the phone. I pen and pad. Like I like the process of it, so all of it, like, I feel like a fucking teenager, like I feel like, but with experience, right. I know how to go into a session and conduct myself in a session. And, they make fun of me all the time because I travel alone. I show up, come to work. That's it. You're like, I come in, like, I just
show up and rap. That's it. Yeah. I'm here to rap. Great.
Yeah.
It's work. You still have 45 minutes left. Didn't you want to smoke blunts and drink and bullshit? No, sir. I'm knocking out 4 songs today.
I have art to
have
create.
A good day.
Yeah. And for me, that's the party. Like for me, that's the party. Like we did a little behind the scenes on Sugar Bills, and I didn't hear Archetype's part until it was all put together. And I didn't even know that he paid attention to how I work. Like I just come in, he'll make something, and I'll just start writing, and then I'll go in and I'll lay a verse. And then for me, once the first verse is laid, then the second one just comes like this, right? Because now I know where to go. I know how to tie it up.
Have a direction,
and
right?
Then, yeah. So it's like, it's easier for me. So then I'll go in. I'll tell you a story. And this is like, I haven't shared this, but rest in peace to my man Blackistan.
Oh, wow.
We were
rest up.
Great soul.
Oh, man.
We were in Boston when I was recording Sugar Bills. and it was there's a rapper ego. We have rapper egos, right? That, like, I don't care what anybody tells you. Me and Ryan Fest had this conversation before, because it's like certain people don't. Yeah, salute. And I'm like, every rapper has an ego. There's no way we would get on the fucking stage if we didn't have one, right?
Absolutely.
So we're in the studio, and I think I had just recorded Shine on the album when Black had came to the studio. So Shine, like when he got there, I might have been walking out of the booth, finishing with that record, right? And so I was like, okay, I got the first verse written for Twisted Bells, but like I'm gonna kill this shit because Black is here, right? So Black is there. I'm like, yo, what you think of the first verse? He's like, yo, like, shit is dope, right? So I'm like, let me write the second one. So they all bullshitting, boom, boom, boom. Write the second verse, knock it out. He was like, yo, that's crazy. That's crazy, right? So we sitting around and they're talking about Nas's beat selection, right? You can't even make this up, right? They're talking about Nas's beat selection, right?
The favorite theme of most rappers, honestly, of most of us.
And I'm like, yo, but I really like, what album were they saying wasn't good? The Nasir album. I'm like, yo, I think that album is dope. I was like, if anybody else had rapped over those Kanye beats, I was like, well, play something that you think Nas should have rapped over that. And he played Archetype, played me the beat for 1520.
Oof. And see, so, here we go. Here we go. Keep going.
I just wrote the verse. I wrote the song, and I go in there and I knock it out. And I remember doing the hook, bang, bang, boogie, your brain staying your hoodie with you. And I remember, remember Ramageddon, like, yo, you fucking killed that. And I was like, I did that because you was here. Like, I did that. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, I did like it was just something to somebody else in the room that you respect.
That was a rapper's song for rappers. Absolutely. Yo,
that was game on.
I'm glad. Yeah, bro, you brought that up. That's what I was going to bring up, bro. 1520, that hook, that energy on there. Jam. Yeah, that's an MC getting busy. That's exactly what it is. And for you to say that's the surroundings in which it was created, it makes perfect sense, man, because you were among peers that actually appreciate bar structures and rhyme energy being put together. And you were like, okay, watch this.
I got to show up. Yeah, I got it because I respect this pen. So I'm like, yo, I got to. You know, like
I
gotta,
like it. It sounds like
I gotta show him, like, excuse me, Michael Jordan said that his favorite time of the year was training camp, because you get people who got traded to the team, you get the rookies, and now I get to show them why I'm Michael Jordan. You might have seen me you might have seen me 4 times a night when you was on 4 times a year when you was on a different team. You might have saw me on TV, but I get to show you. I'm gonna show you why I'm different. You know, so I always look at it like that in the studio. You know, like I fucking love it. Like there's no place I'd rather be.
That's like Kobe. Like as you was Kobe and T-Mac came to the studio. He was like, "Yo, boom!" Like, T-Mac for the Rockets. That is too the T-Mac that was dominate. So like, boom, Blackistan was T-Mac. You was Kobe. You like, yo, boom. This is why I'm Kobe, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna show you, like, you know, because me and Black would talk all the time, but he had never seen me in the studio. He didn't know what, you know, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never have, and so, like, you know, I just walk in and it's like, you know, like, let's get to work. You know, like people talk about the Jay-Z Rain Man shit, and you know, these people that don't write, I write. But when I write, like, I go there, like, you know, like people, and like I be in someplace else. You know, like, but I need because of where I grew up, I need the chaos. I need people talking. I need them.
Y'all do energy.
Y'all do you, and I'll be over here, and it just makes me hyper concentrate. It makes me hyper focus, because now I got to block all of that out, go in, find it, and I'm listening for the words, because the music dictates the words for me. I very seldom, maybe 2 or 3 times in my career, ever knew what I was going to write. So I always, the words, like, and they just start falling. Okay, put this one here. Sometimes the words has just been like, yo, I've been waiting all day. Come on. Let me, you know, but sometimes
you start pouring out of your pen.
Let me out of here.
Dope. That's dope, man.
So you usually write on the spot. You usually create on the spot. You never have the, what word? I actually saw that in the interview. And I thought that's what you did. You don't ever just come with the pad right there. Usually the producer makes the beat there as well.
Yeah, I prefer that. Yeah. So the past, I want to say 15 minutes, the two was Spesh. So yeah, the past 5 or 6 projects is right on the spot.
That's what's up.
You know, I mean, Archetype is in Boston. So I think the first 2 records I might have wrote in Jersey and then drove up and did it. But then he was the first studio session that I ever just did everything on the spot. Like that was the first one. Cause when I was working with Kenny, our schedules just didn't work like that, you know? So when he would be home, I would come and record cause then he would go back out on the road. So, yeah, but once I started locking in with these producers that I could come and we had the time, like, we gotta cook up right there. Like me and Vic, when we did Portrait of, like, it was almost a battle where he finished the beat before I finished the rhyme. Like it was on that type time. So like, I really like to challenge myself in that way, you know, like, cause when that energy is fresh, like I remember one of the first sessions that I ever did with Raheem Devon, I walk in and, he's like, hey, you know, nice to meet you. Heard a lot about you. Boom, boom. Yeah, we got this record that we just did. Can you lay something for it? Now, I just walked in. First time meeting him, just walked in. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I wrote it and I spit it. And he's like, that's the one. And I'm like, no, let me re-record it. He's like, no. That first energy, when you first hear it, you got it. And so, you know, that's what I've been going with.
And you got this rap science down, bro. You talking that talk. See, this is why I was like, yo, we got to get this man on here, man. You a MC who understands the science of it, man. It's energy behind this, man. It's a methodology to this thing, man. It's deeper than rap. You know what I mean? It's deeper than just Fisher Price rhymes, man. So yeah. But speaking of, before we get too far, tell me more about your relationship with the Archetype, man. Like, how did that even come about? Because y'all have a great chemistry together.
True indeed.
Yep.
I met Archetype. It's 2023, so I probably met Archetype maybe 12 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You could tell. Yeah, that makes sense.
Check this out, though. Crazy. I met him 12 years ago. And if you ever talk to OC, if you ever get OC on this podcast, he'll tell you the type of person I am, right? I got to go. So OC dropped trophies and me and O had met a few times and we had exchanged numbers, but this is OC who, you know, Word Life dropped 29 years ago today.
And it's still right? Timeless. It's a timeless album.
Right? So to me, I feel like OC is in my DNA, my hip hop DNA, right? Because I remember getting Jewels and us sitting in my homie's car. He had a car and we listening, and it's just like, you know, so so OC is like, yo, we got to work. And I'm like, first of all, I got to put some work in before I hop on a record with you. I feel like, you know, like I'm a huge fan of boxing. Like I may be the one, but you got to fight some fights, you know,
before you get there to the title fight,
before you get the title shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I remember walking into Archetype Studio first time. I was doing I was at Underground Hip Hop up in Boston. I did another show and I was with this clothing company called Annie Moles. And they was like, yo, my man got a studio and the studio is not just a studio, like a compound. Like it was, you know, it's super dope. And I remember walking into the studio like, I'm not ready for this room yet. I'm not ready for this room yet. And this is after Future Before Nostalgia was, you know, we was touring that record. And I was like, okay. So me and Art kept in contact, but we never did any music. So after I finished First Brick, I was like, you know, I want to try something different. I want to work with somebody different. And he had sent me some beats a year ahead of time that I never touched. Like they were a year ahead of time. And there's no samples. Like he plays everything.
Oh, that's dope.
So we took pretty much all of those records, the skeletons, all those beats, and they turned into, you know, what became Sugar Bills. And the thing about the archetype that I really like is he allows me to produce, right? Because that's what people don't know, right? That I actually, these albums that you're hearing, like the person, the pulling it all together and pulling in the singers and writing the hooks, and that's me. You know what I mean? So I try to find what the person's strength is. Like Jasmine Lopez, I call her my cousin. Like we sat and, via FaceTime or via Facebook Messenger, putting these hooks together. Like me singing, or I can't sing, or trying to attempt to sing something to her. She's an amazing songwriter. I like on Never Change, that's all her. Bomb. She was like, yo, I got it. But on Shine, we going back and forth. A lot of these records, it's just a very immersed process that we go through. And Archetype allowed me to pull in strings here, get keys here. The record, I'm a jazz fan. So the record, Lucifer in a Candlelight with Timothy Hall playing sax, it was let's get Charlie Bird, Acid Jazz Paris.
Yeah.
And boom, he went and
it's haunting.
Yeah,
it's really well done.
Ark is my guy. And Ark has been engineering and mastering all of my projects since 2020.
God dang.
Nice.
Super dope, man. You a Quincy Jones type dude out here, man.
I'm telling you.
You know what I mean? You on the that's how it is, man. I mean, straight up.
Yeah, I am a Quincy Jones type dude out here. That's right.
Absolutely
that's
right.
Yeah, I'll take
Stand on that.
That's some impressive shit.
Yeah. And you a coach too, you know what I'm saying? Like boom, boom, boom. You telling the go here, go there, go there, go there, yeah, ready, break. Boom.
You singing right production, real producing. You know what I mean? Not just making a beat, you know what I mean? Like it's composing the actual structure of it, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
And arranging the vocal, everything.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the thing also is I try to work with people I trust. So Tim, there was this is the direction, but take that and then do whatever you do, and he knocked that out. He knocked out his sax solo in one take, take. He was like this. I was like, yep. And he went in the booth and he knocked it out. And because there's two structures there for studios. One is a room in a building where there's 30 studios. So Tim was in the next studio. I think he came over to get an amp or a mic or something. And I was like, yo, check this out. You got your sax here with you today? And he's like, yeah. And we played on the record. He's like, yeah, this is fire. I'm like, we need you. And he came in and bang, he knocked it out.
That's crazy.
Saxophone is an underrated and underused thing. I remember, the 80s, that was a standard thing, having good sax solos on timeless records. So that's definitely a crucial touch.
Lisa Simpson.
No. Yeah, she played the sax.
Yeah, she did.
Saxman Carruthers. Saxman Carruthers.
Yeah, he passed. Yo, rest in peace to Carruthers, man. He passed.
Bleeding Gum Murphy.
That was
look at them, Carl. They're going in their bag.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just nerd shit. Nah, I mean, we all nerd shit. Yeah.
Hold on, no. You want to talk about that? Hold on, man. Let's give praise to this man because you're the original Generation 2 Roadblock out here, man. Like I saw you got the damn G.I. Joe character. That's the Roadblock after they came back from Cobra La. That whole season of G.I. Joe. I was like, yo, this is epic, man. Are they still available? I will buy one.
Rudy Will did those. I don't have one. I just have the
are so dope.
I just have the card that came inside of the G.I. Joe. I just have the card. I think he's going to put him into production. We talked about him, but a lot of people have reached out to me about those. I do have a Funko
Pop.
I do have a Funko Pop. Yeah, but
a Funko
of Roadblock.
Me.
Oh
yeah, Rasheed Chappell Funko. Yeah. Let's see it. Yep, come on, bust out the tape. Here we go.
Bring that down.
Bust them out.
Wow, that is dope.
Yeah,
that's ill, man.
Yeah,
legendary.
Yep.
So one of one.
I bet you put it on Discogs. Put it on Discogs and see what happens.
Man, I see some of my vinyl going for like $100 and something, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
the Buck Wild joint probably. I bet.
With the
with
PQ. Shout out to PQ.
Yeah,
Shout out to PQ. That's our guy
he did
right
his
there.
thing.
Yo.
He definitely did his thing. Like he's a good dude. Like he hits me up every now and then. Like, yo, thank you.
He is
But
super
like,
solid, dude.
I'm like, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like I think I saw his art. I think he had did something for Screwdini from Screw Tape, and I was like, yo, this is fire. And that's how I got wind of him, and he's like been solid ever since. But even with the artwork, I always try to go someplace different. Like, you know, like Sep, everybody was using Sep. I wanted to go someplace else. You know what I mean? Everybody was, you know, chasing Alchemist or Derringer. Let me go over here. Like everybody was trying to get a West Side, somebody else feature. Let me go over here. Let me do I just always try to do something different than what everybody else is doing. Because if everybody's doing it, then anybody can do it.
That's right.
So indeed. That was my point. That's my point about the tough guy rap. You know what I'm saying? We got people that are doing the so-called gangster rap very, very well. And we got other people that just come into the game. Like I have on the algorithm on Spotify, every once in a while someone pops up. I'm like, yo, this shit don't even sound believable, yo. Just rap about your regular life, your job, who you love. There's so much stuff to rap about. So much stuff. You can rap about anything. And that's why I appreciate people like you, Squeegeo, and love. We go back to the dead period hip hop, Little Brother, stuff like that I can relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, word. Like, yeah. Well, but there's times when I want to drive real fast. I put on Little John. You know what I mean? Word. So boom. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't ashamed. I live in Atlanta. Yeah. True indeed. Yeah. True indeed. Now let's get to this boxing thing. I know you're a big boxing fan. Boxing has took a turn where you have non-boxers boxing each other. How do you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Word.
I mean, do you tune in? We have non-rappers rapping.
Yes, so, indeed. There you go.
What it is, you know, these things are like jazz, like painting, like culinary arts. These things are discipline, right? So I take them very seriously, right? So, you know, as someone, I've gone to the gym, I've sparred, I've been cut, I've been hit, like I've done everything, but I wouldn't consider myself a boxer. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had my 10,000 hours of that. You know, I haven't dedicated my life to that. You know, like my man Ian Green is about to fight on November 4th, I believe, and he dedicates his life to it. He lives like a Spartan, and so, you know, people that can do it. You know, like my friend said, you know, he had to step aside because he saw I was serious, right? So he could rap, he can, you know, but that wasn't where his heart was. So, you know, these people like the Jake Pauls and people like that, and I give it to Jake. He's dedicated himself to the craft of boxing.
He actually can fight, yo. Yeah,
but he hasn't fought a boxer.
Not at all. Facts. Put him in there with a Mexican. See what happens when that dude charges that up the whole time. That wasn't
Cuban. It could be a Cuban.
They come in the whole entire time.
Yeah, Eastern European. It could be anybody that like just understands like there's so much that I don't know about boxing, right? Like when I'm standing in front of someone who actually is a boxer, who their livelihood is based upon, you know, like this combat sport, this test of wills. Like, you know, I was at we were at a video shoot for this record, the co-op record, one of the co-op records, and David Barr's brother boxes. He's a real boxer. And so I was just like, he was like, oh, that looks sharp, until he got up. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's like, yeah, you know, like everybody can box until the boxer walk into the room. But, you know, I don't know if it's bringing more light to the sport. I think a Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence brought a lot of light because it's two people that are actually, you know, super skilled at what they do. And, you know, so I really don't have an opinion because, you know, I guess that would be, you know, more so to a person that's actually immersed in the discipline of boxing. But as a fan of boxing, I don't tune in. You know, that's not something that interests me. I want to see two people who have dedicated themselves to the science, the sweet science of boxing, and see what happens. You know, so that's to me, that's what interests me.
True indeed. Like it takes skill to actually throw a punch. Like, yeah, it takes skill to actually write these rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get where you're coming from. Yeah, sometimes it's entertaining to see a motherfucker that can't rhyme. Like, y'all gonna hate me for saying this again. You know who I'm gonna bring up? Sexy Red. Some of that shit is funny as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? Word. Yeah, but she ain't no boxer, yo. She ain't, yo. It'd be funny to see Aaron Carter in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Word. Fighting somebody.
I guess,
It, like, what the fuck is this? This shit is weird. But then you see like a Rock Marcy, or someone, it's definitely different, man. I'd rather see the real punches any day. You know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Yeah. Like you hear people say, I don't write my rhymes. Sounds like it.
You might need
sounds
to.
like it, right? Exactly. Maybe you should. Yeah, that's a fact.
Sounds like
absolutely.
Not surprised.
Don't say that like it's a badge of honor. Like, oh, great. I'm not really a rapper. I just really do this. Oh yeah, I can tell. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm aware.
Yeah. Water is wet. We can tell. We can absolutely tell, bro.
You ain't fooling nobody. But that Earl Spence Crawford fight was triumphantly disappointing. Yeah. But yo, I was going for Crawford though. But I was like,
of course, we all were. I think a lot of us were, and he wasn't going for himself. He wasn't going for himself, man.
But Spence got beat the fuck up, man. I was like, and I don't think they're having a rematch. Are they having a rematch?
They're probably gonna. I mean, this is the biggest money fight for either of them right now. I would say that they would have the rematch, but I'll tell you something. I mean, I don't. Crawford holds all the cards right now. If he wants to keep it at 47, make him fight again at 47 instead of going up to 54. Although I don't think the weight makes a difference. And it's very rare that a puncher beats a boxer. It's very rare. So I like it. Yeah, you just watch boxing long enough, I mean, maybe 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10, it happens that a puncher beats a boxer. So if a person can box, if he can, eliminate, one thing that you do, you're at a huge disadvantage. If you can eliminate 2 things that you do well, then it's almost like he lost. And what Crawford was able to do was eliminate 2 things and implement 2 things that he wanted to do. So there was like, no, you know what I mean? Like, not only that,
it was just a matter of time at that point.
The biggest example I see of that is like the Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Holy shit. Like he
let us down.
Oh my, no, not really. Because you look at it, Tyson Fury walks around like on his tippy toes, like he's a ballerina. Yo, that dude got great footwork. That dude is a boxer, and he's huge. Holy shit! So
he is big.
Well, he's just kind of freakish. It's weird because he's so out of shape. He's
joking.
He appears out of shape.
Yeah,
he appears out of shape. I think that's just kind of his build. But to your point, Lukey, I think Wilder came in there thinking that, I'm a one hit this dude.
Him out.
He knocked
him down a couple times.
Number one,
he got back up.
Look at his legs. Look at Wilder's legs. Wilder skips leg day every week. He does. His legs are not there.
Got the prison build.
Bro is not. He is not there, and he was winded from carrying that stupid costume into the ring.
That fight, I don't even count that fight. The last fight, he knocked down Tyson Fury, and the judge gave him a long count, bro. He gave him a long count to get back up.
I think Tyson Fury was a better fighter in that one, but anyway,
I give you a hot take. I don't think, from my eyes of watching boxing, I think Tyson Fury would have given Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, who else?
Holyfield?
Holyfield. Yeah, Holyfield's too small. He would have given him hell.
How would Tyson fight him? How would Mike Tyson
seriously?
How would he get in? Yeah, how would he get in? I mean, he has an amazing jab.
He has a reach. Yeah, he has that reach. That's how he wins.
Jab. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So. So you look at right now, the divisions have changed. Like these guys have become like, power forwards boxing. But it's like, if you look at the sport of boxing, like I said, I'm always going to go with the, like me and Vinny Paz have these conversations because like, he's like, yo, it's like, black people, like boxing is very segregated. Black people go for black fighters.
Black
Mexicans
people
go for Mexican fighters.
Yeah, the white guys go for the white guys.
Very much like that.
Yeah, so it's very segregated. That's why it sells so much.
Yeah,
like, that's why you pit two people against each other. Like, you're going to get these two crowds. That's why black versus Mexican is always going to be the biggest fight.
Always.
It's interesting that you picked Mike Tyson, though, because out of all boxers, to me, he was the epitome of a scientist and a puncher.
Okay, and so he ran up against
Customato, just basically hypnotized him and drilled him with video and film. He was so incredibly well studied, and a lot of boxers didn't get to see that much because he dissected people so quickly.
Fucked him up
because he was a puncher, but the reason he got those punches was because he was so studied as a boxer.
Down. Yeah,
he understood exactly where you were going to be, and then
he did the peekaboo, right? That was his offense and defense, which is incredibly effective, right? If you have someone who's flat-footed, right? If you have someone who doesn't know angles, right? So Tyson Fury, I think he would just walk through Deontay Wilder, right? And that's not no knock on Deontay. That's just because Deontay didn't pick up boxing until I think he was 18 or 20 years old. So Mike Tyson had been doing it since he's like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
It's just so much more that he knows, right? There's tricks and traps. Like, you want to watch a good boxing match, watch a boxing match. And it's almost unfair to say his name because he was just so far above everyone. Floyd Mayweather.
Oh yeah.
Watch whoever the opponent is that he fought.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Watch their fight, the fight before they fought Floyd. How they were able to do whatever they wanted to do against their opponent. Because he only really fought guys after a big win, right? Because that was the draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then look at their punch output. How is it that he's unable? Why am I on? So to me, the beauty of boxing, no, not even, you wouldn't throw the punch. He always had you out of range. He always had you off balance. He always had you out of reach. He always, and so to me, when I watch boxing, like those are like my man Ed, I call him my boxing coach, right? He actually got me back into boxing a few years ago, and he goes to the gym and he's like, "Yo, the way you are, you should be like a Mike Tyson." But the type of boxing that you like is a Guillermo Rigondeaux, is a Pernell Whitaker. I like people that always keep you off balance. Like, it is hit and not get hit. That is boxing, And so
definitely,
to me, and then to take somebody like a who did he fight? A Vargas or a Maidana or Arturo Gatti, and just neutralize. They can't do shit. They can't do shit. They couldn't do anything. They didn't know when to throw a punch, where to throw a punch, how to throw a punch. Like, to me, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing to me.
I love that shit.
Science. It's science, man. Absolutely.
I remember playing the video games, boxing, and being so tired. Like, yo, you got to do 8 rounds of this. You got to do 30. How many rounds you got to do of this
12 rounds.
I'm like, I'm tired after this one fighting the video game, son.
That's why conditioning is so
exercise.
important.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right, Carl.
The thing that made me mad about the Tyson, you said boxing is segregated. Whenever Tyson Fury beat Deontay Wilder and he sat up there and had the whole crowd sing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie," I was like, no, y'all are Americans singing "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie." You supposed to go for the American, right? Then I realized, like, yo, I hit up Crime Faces. And I was like, yo, you see this? He's like, yeah, man, the white guys are already going to go for the white guys. I was like,
even if they're from another country, it's crazy.
I was going to let you know, Deontay Wilder is black. That's why that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was like, yo, this dude is not American. Like, why is the whole crowd singing "Bye Bye Miss American Pie" to our American champ? Like, Floyd said the same thing about
of course
fighting Pacquiao. He was like saying, "I'm American."
Pacquiao, Ricky Hatton, everybody.
Word. Support me like you support the troops. That's what Floyd Mayweather said. Yeah. I was like, yeah, they're not gonna do that, Floyd. Yeah, they ain't gonna do that. But it's crazy, man. But yeah, boxing segregated, bro. But it's so lovely, though. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's the thing that is the most closely correlated thing to rapping, right? Because it's just you. It's just me in the booth.
That's right.
Right.
It's just you.
And so the boxing is just like, there's no timeout. It's just you. Right. There's nobody that could sub in for you. And so like with the music, class shows over time. Right. That's what they say in boxing. So you got two guys, the first couple of rounds is close. The better guy, the longer the fight goes on, it's just going to show itself.
Yep.
And so I think the same thing is true with music. So you have two people that they come out the gate relatively hot. Class is going to show over time. So you have people that put out a lot of music. I'm more of a substance over style and more of a quality over quantity guy. So it's like I'm trying to put the highest quality of music out because that's going to last longer than, eating 10 McNuggets. Have a steak. See which one keeps you full longer.
Yeah.
Here we are again. Listen to that, Lukey. You hear that? Stop eating that bullshit food.
My daughter be asking for that shit, and
you don't have to give her everything
bad.
She asked for.
I be feeling bad. She see McDonald's, she be like, chicken McNuggets and French fries. She said, you want nuggets? She be like, chicken McNuggets and French fries. I was like, damn.
Listen, if it has a commercial, don't eat it.
Word.
Woo. Woo. Okay,
and that's the same thing for the music. If they got it, like Dame Dash said a long time ago, good dope don't need no advertisement.
That's right.
They know where they come get it. They know.
They don't have Ferrari commercials. They don't have Lamborghini commercials.
They don't have Air Force One commercials.
You know where they came from. Where they came to get that snow and Snow on the Bluff. You know where they came.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, shout out to my guy Snow. I met that dude. I'm saying where Snow on the Bluff, yo. Snow on the Bluff. Yeah. That's wild, man. So you are with Trust. You with 38 Special, right? You
no.
Trust. You're not with Trust?
No.
Well, I thought you was with those guys.
That's my guy. I come through, but like I'm independent, especially my brother. Yeah. That's my guy.
True indeed. Well, I think I saw Trust, yo. I thought I saw it on the bio. They had a thing with they was yelling Trust. Lamar Jackson and the other guy. What is it?
Oh, a few people. LeBron.
Yeah. Trust. Yeah.
Yeah. But Trust is definitely like that. That's the umbrella. That's all. Like that's the movement. But like as far as the label, no.
True indeed, yo. I was thinking that, yo. I just had to clarify it real quick. You know what I mean? What? Some questions, yo. True indeed. Boxing.
That's all good. Salute to Trust without Special.
It was yo.
Don't count that special machinery out right now.
True indeed. Well, what else we got next for you though? After this Sugar Bills album, son.
I'm probably gonna go back into Go Dancing. Or,
shit. I saw you in the evenings.
You are a Renaissance man, sir.
It's my first love, man. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Carl, you feel me, right? Carl, you understand?
Yes, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, so like if it don't make dollars, and then they crumpling up dollar bills at you, what are you doing? If you're not crumpling dollar bills at the end of the night, what are we doing? Nah, it's more the same, man. It's the past. It's so funny that we having this conversation. The past couple of days has really been. I've been trying to figure out what I want the next project to sound like. I haven't locked in with a producer just yet to figure out where I want to go sonically. Like I have music in the stash, ready to go. But as far as like the next project that I want something, because I'm really looking at the state of affairs of the world. I'm really looking at. I'm looking at even what we just talked about with boxing, right? So I look at it, why would they not want to uphold or exalt Floyd Mayweather or Tyson or Deontay Wilder when he's from where you're from and he's fighting somebody else, but the racial ties are stronger than us being from the same place, right? Or why is it that, any white person doing something in a black genre is given this extra play, like this extra shine when they're just doing something that we've been doing for the longest, So it's all these thoughts, it's all these ideas, as well as, I don't have any recollection. Hip hop for me started way before rap music. So when I tell you hip hop has been with me the whole time, there's no part of my interaction of hip hop that didn't include Latin people. Now, back then, we all called them Puerto Rican, but they were Puerto Rican, Dominican, Peruvian, Colombian, but
Ecuadorians,
absolutely. So there was no part of me that separated them from my culture. Now, that's my experience. I grew up in Passaic, New Jersey, little city, 3.2 miles, one high school, one middle school. That's all I knew, right? So on the broader scale, I don't know how it was in New York, but I hear the conversation. I've been hearing the conversation lately about how, Latinos feel like they weren't included in the birth or the origin or their stories not being told. And I don't know who started this narrative, and I don't know why the conversation is being had, but it's divisive. And so, I know when I started early, the first people that really fuck with me was Dominicans, like really fuck with my music, and, I've worked with white producers, Spanish engineers, so it's all been a part of my shit. So it's just like wild to me that this conversation is being had. So I'm taking a step back to look like, yo, what is the end game for all of this shit? And so it's like, how do I incorporate that into an album? Or maybe a song, or maybe two songs, I'm not sure, but like all of those thoughts are like in my head, because it's a little bit like, I can rap. We've already established that 5, 6, 7, 8 albums ago. So now what else can I do to kind of, bring this shit all together, to just kind of like bring all the thoughts and ideas in my head about what I'm seeing to canvas. Like, how can I make that shit happen, bring it to life? So for me, what next is probably take that couple weeks, the next 2 weeks, and just kind of figure out what I want to say, how I want to say it, and then find the person to give me the canvas in order to paint that picture. So that's where I'm at right now.
Speaking of the Latins, man, I think you do dope work. RX was dope. Shout out XP. That was a dope project. I mean, savage bars all over it. I mean, savage with intensity, obviously, because y'all is not savages. We are not savages. But also, shout out Spanish Ran. You jabbed on that. You snapped on that too over his work. So
shout out Spanish Ran.
Man. I think definitely you're speaking that to power. Absolutely, the contribution of the Latin community, the Spanish community to the birth of hip hop, and not only the birth, but the thriving of this culture. It's undeniable. It can't be erased. And whoever is planning this division, this message of neglect or otherness, exclusion, man, that's trick knowledge. It's pure and simple trick knowledge, man. I mean, because we've been hand in hand, and it's been a rainbow from the beginning. But we've been hand in hand.
But see, this is the even bigger conversation. I don't even know if I can tackle this in an album or in a song. Is like the fact that we think that, like, so what we're arguing about really is who has the receipt when we all come from the same warehouse, right? So if you think that because you are from Dominican Republic or from Puerto Rico or from Cuba,
now
or
we
from
gonna talk that talk.
Like how'd you get there?
Yeah.
Right. So, and if you think the parts of your culture that draw you to hip hop comes from Spain and not from Africa, then that's a much bigger conversation that needs to be had. And I don't know if I'm the guy to have that conversation. I don't know if that, but I think these thoughts, and I'm like, well, like these were just like stops on the A train. Like dropped off here, dropped off here, dropped off. That's all it was,
That's a fact.
So it's we all are trying to navigate this experience of Western world, and some of us have, and it's so funny because the closer you are, like the further you are from America, the closer you are to Africa as far as cultural ways, right? So the foods that you eat, the Santeria that you practice, the hoodoo that you practice, the Congos, all of that, so you get to Brazil and you're damn near in Africa. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in customs and mores when you get to Africa. So it's like, like, I don't know, like it's very complex. I think it's simple, but it's very complex because you have people's emotions, pride, identity, all these things tied into nationalism and all this type shit. So, I'm thinking about maybe tackling something like that. I don't know. Or I might just go back to go-go dancing.
Go-go dancing is tight, but
get your money, man. Get them dollars.
I definitely think it's a conversation that needs to be had, though, because, I think when we look at rap, we should look at it a lot more like a tapestry than a single painting or picture. It's something that's been woven over 50 years with solid influences from so many cultures. And when we get down to it, I mean, everything came from Africa. I mean, that's if we trace back this current run of people, that's where everything was. That's where, I mean, they've traced everything back to Africa. So, but there's been so many different influences from Rick Rubin to, I mean, just everybody. So, I think it's definitely a conversation worth having.
I think some of the problem is some people of Latino descent don't think they're black. But let me stop there and go to this. Whenever that hip hop thing came out, I think on HBO Max or whatever, the hip hop show with the dude that was on Dope and stuff. It wasn't on. It's on the movie Dope. I think it was a hip hop show talking about the origin of hip hop, and it was actors. Crazy Legs went on there. He tweeted and said there was not enough Latino representation in this movie. And if you go back on Wild Style, when they're rapping against each other playing basketball, you see Latinos everywhere, yo. Like
facts.
Like word. I mean, wasn't Zorro Latino? Was that Latino descent?
Who?
Zorro, the dude. Zorro was the dude. And Rose, they both were of Latino descent, or had something. They look like it. Anyway, it's fair sometimes to say they don't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying? Because people that don't know nothing about hip hop, they don't know that shit. But we that are connoisseurs of hip hop, and we know pretty much that.
I think you got to also realize, just like you were saying, Rasheed, as far as the origins being an East Coast kind of origin of the culture, right? Latin people were way more commonly seen on the East Coast. So as hip hop spread across the nation, as the influence spread across the nation, those communities didn't really exist outside of a lot of major urban areas. Like Chicago, absolutely, we got a huge Puerto Rican, Mexican population. LA, absolutely, they have a huge Mexican, Colombian population. So you can see those faces, you can see those voices. Mm-hmm. Texas obviously has the Mexican connection. So you'll see those creeping in, and you'll see those names, and you'll hear those influences coming in. But if you're like, I don't know, if you're just a casual listener somewhere in Kansas, maybe you're not, and I'm not trying to take away from, whoever the dopest rapper in Kansas is or whatever.
DeSoto, Missouri, where I'm from.
Or Missouri, or, Missouri, just random places in flyover land America. You're not familiar with how much cultures are actually intermingling and borrowing off of each other and teaching each other, and how much it's a melting pot. Yeah. I don't think people in America really realize that.
I don't really subscribe to the melting pot theory, right? Because if it's a melting pot, then something gets lost from everything, and it just becomes this homogenized thing of this massive. So that's what happens.
So
when
it's
you
a
put
stew
it
then. Let me use something else. It's a stew. Yeah, it's not a melting pot.
Yeah, it's definitely a stew. But I think what happens in middle of I think there's a lot of things that happen, and that's a whole nother podcast, right? I think a lot of things. Seriously, I think a lot of things happen. Like, so if I were to ask you, where does the kimono belong? You would say Japan, right? There's no argument about that. It belongs to the Japanese. If I asked about mariachi, you would say that's some Mexican music. Or like, Mexican there's no argument about that, right? There's no argument about sombrero, rather. There's no argument about that. But when it comes to hip hop, it has to now become this universal thing. When that's not what it was. That's not what it was intended for. That's not, it was to be anti-establishment. It was the voice of the voiceless, right? So the moment that we, and when I say we, I'm inclusive of Latinos as well, because I see us all as Black, that we didn't have control over it. That means we didn't have control over the stories. We didn't have control over the distribution. We didn't have control of it. So now the story gets told. So if I was someone in the 80s, maybe Black, that's a little bit more marketable, right? Maybe that's an audience that I can easily identify as those are the people that are coming to me with the music. These are the people I'm going to market to. Not knowing that there was a Latino community there as well that they could have marketed to as well. Now, 2023, Fat Joe is hosting the BET Awards. You know, Ice Spice is one of the biggest rappers. You know what I mean? So I think it kind of just works in these ebbs and flows. But just me as a fan of the culture, me as a fan of the people, I just don't like the divisive talk. You know, because I've done I wasn't even thinking about RX, right? I like that. Like, it's just something that, like, it's just me and him did this album together. Yeah, like, but I was like, MCs. I have a whole album with him. I have fucking a song with a couple songs with UFO Feed. You know, I forgot about Spanish Ran. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yo, like, this guy.
It wasn't tokenism or something crazy like that. I hope it didn't come across like I was implying something like that.
No, not at all. But what I'm saying is it's always been there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I just like, like, yo, Phoebe, spit a verse.
You dope. Let's build. Let's make this.
Just like the music you listen to. Like, if it sounds, like I said in the beginning, if it sounds good, we listen. You never listen to no bad music. No saying word. So if it sounds good, it sounds good. I'm the same way. It doesn't matter what the fuck is going on. Like, I don't care if it sounds good. It sounds good. You know what I'm saying?
It's fine.
Yes, definitely. And for a period of time, the overseas cats was holding us down with really good beats, like from the UK, Poland, and Budapest. All those guys had that sound when the sound was going away. When 2 Chainz Benny was rapping, they had some really good beats over there that 2 Chainz Benny could have rapped on instead of those trap songs. Anyway, yeah.
He getting down on 2 Chainz Benny, man. You stay on his neck, man. I can't. That's hilarious to me. But
his
anyway.
T-shirt was too big. He looked like OJ the Juice Man. By the way, shout out to OJ the Juice Man. Word. I'm from Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm from Eastside Atlanta, yo. Eastside Atlanta. Carl, Primo Jab, what else do we have?
I know we're getting close to it here. So just before we dip out, I do want to just tell you I really, really appreciate you coming on. You know, it's a conversation that I've been looking forward to just because you do have such a different aspect to what you rap about. And like the Sinners and Saints album, this new one, you keep elevating what I thought was top notch. So I'm just looking forward to what you've got in the future. And I'm really, really glad you were able to take the time to hang with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. One day I'm going to do a live one time where I rank my albums where I think they fall. It's so funny that you mentioned it. It's so funny where you bring up the Sinners and Saints album. That was ambitious. We tried to do something on that album. I tried to kind of tell a story of what was happening with COVID and just the world at that time. That's what that album was about.
Yeah.
And I think I could have done better, to be honest with you. I listen to that album sometimes like, I could have done better. But you never know what resonates with people. But yeah, I'm always trying to elevate and the platforms like this that give artists a chance to really talk beyond just the 12 or 13 songs on an album, to really see what it is that we think and how we view the world. I'm open. I love long form conversations like this.
Yeah.
What up? Primo Jab, before I go.
Yo, man, just starting off again, like Carl said, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I definitely have been a fan of you, and just as an MC, you really exude somebody who gets it, who is a technical studier of the sweet science of MCing and rhyming. Every time I see a freestyle of you, especially like the Rap Is Out of Control, you body that. It's just anytime I see a freestyle that says Rasheed Chappell, it's like, oh yeah, got to tune into that because he gonna get busy. So it's just an honor to have you on the show, and it's been great to really just chop it up and build how we have so far. Really just, you're authentic, man. There's no gimmick to you. There's no lies to you, man. You are who you are. I love the fact that you stand on your name as your name is your name, and that's who you are, man. Rasheed Chappell, that's, hey, I am who I am, and that's what I is, and yo, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're absolutely elevating yourself. This new project, man, is dope. You and Archetype, man. Hey, just keep doing what y'all doing, man. Thanks for being here. And yeah, keep making these contributions to the culture, man, because it's art. It's not the cliche like everybody says. This is real art. This is real. This is real art. I'm sick of that, man. The art thing is starting to get played out, guys. Let's stop saying art, okay? Let's stop saying it. It speaks for itself. If it's really art, let other people say it. Because the minute you tell me that it's art, I don't believe you. I'm
turned off.
But
put your panties back on, bitch.
But yeah, keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, 1520, that's one of my favorite joints, Joe. You snapped on there. You absolutely snapped. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thanks for being here.
Yes, and come back
again. What I really appreciate is I've seen a couple interviews with you, man, and the way you articulate things is really, really pathetic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really I think I said the right word. You and Primo Jab got the big words. I don't got them.
No, you
said
nailed
it right.
Yeah.
And then I heard on the song you said you're Rasheed Alamin.
Yeah, it's my middle name.
Are you? Okay. I thought you was maybe akin to Khalid Alamin. I was
no.
I was like, yo, is he really dead? You know the big point guard from Chicago Bulls and UConn. Yeah. Big East. That's Big East. Yeah, I was like, yo, maybe he's related to Khalid Alamin, yo. Like, that'd be wild as fuck. Yeah, so I almost forgot that.
They always think I'm related to Dave Chappelle, and that's what they always ask me.
But the song, you cleared it up on the song. So when you cleared it up, you had to clear it up, huh?
Yeah. Shit, unless it's gonna get me somewhere free, I'll be his cousin.
Shit, yo, Dave gonna reach out to you. Watch. He gonna invite you to the next festival out there in the town that he owns.
That's the plan. That's where we're trying to go. That's what we're trying to do.
Speaking it shall be. There it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I met him for the first time at the Tony concert too.
That's what's up.
Nice. Oh, there you go.
See? It's happening.
So the seed has been sown. And he always since there's no degrees of separation anymore. They said there was 6 degrees of separation. Now there's like 3 or 4. Now you got to connect right there, bro. Right. So like, boom. We're always one tweet, one meet, one handshake away from that next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Word. Or no, just fuck a next level. Finding somebody you can love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about the no cameras. I should take more pictures of my daughter, but I live in the moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the moments off camera. Leave that phone alone and just love each other. So I'm glad you came on here. We got to talk face to face, even though this is a camera. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. But this is me being able to sit right next to you and talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And you up there, I'm down here. And I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thanks for coming on. We definitely. We got a lot of issues to talk about on this joint, man. That was pretty dope, bro. Yeah.
We'll save it for the next one. We'll save it for the next one.
But here's why I like this. I got my box cut up for work. Anyway, boom. Here's why I like this.
For work.
Sure. People love your music, but when they hear you, they love you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love these podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I love these shits, yo. So boom, issue 113 of the motherfucking Abyss podcast. Remember, you listen to music you don't never listen to no bad music. Real shit.
That's right.
Wow. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.